Alright guys, here we are at the Guardian Temple. Set our spawn, drink some water breathing, drink some night vision, go! So there we have it guys, a ocean temple taken down, 32 wet sponge, oh yeah. There could be more sponge rooms, but we are going to be going through this thing really in depth soon. Because we are going to be making a pretty cool project here. Mainly to do with terraforming down to this level and having a guardian farm inside the constructs of that structure, because this is one of my favorite structures. If you guys didn't know, loved this structure so much. Anyways, what we can do is we can get rid of a bunch of the sand stuff here, but I'd like to keep some of the floating cactus, so we are going to probably have to clear this by hand. So if some of that stuff didn't make it in, I would like to ask you guys, should we dupe the wet sponge, or should we make a wet sponge farm with the elder guardians, which means we have to go to another one and capture an elder guardian, which could be a lot of pain for me, but it could be an interesting video, so let me know in the comments below. And yeah, anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and meet you guys back at base. Funnily enough, sponges are some of the oldest blocks in Minecraft, yet they were only started to become available when Guardian Temples came out, so that's pretty cool. Now there is of course ways in the community I'm part of, the Unobtained community, the Discontinued items community, that these guys can be obtained earlier on, and a lot of those come down to much earlier times. Yet, you know, I just decided they become really available later, vanilla, so not gonna do that. Anyways, I thought that was an interesting fact to share with you. So yeah, we have access to sponges now. However, I just had a very cool thoughts, and that is that we can make a really easy mob switch with shulkers, and there's a couple ways you can make a mob switch. Now, part of that requires you to know where exactly your spawn chunks are, and I think it would be really important to mark those out in our world, just to know, and it's quite tough to figure that out, so I would use a seed thingy-mabobber, and it would tell me where the line is. However, you can, on the border there, you can have a button that toggles them to go into the spawn chunk, so then everywhere else in the world nothing will spawn, and when you're in the area nothing will spawn, because those shulkers are taking up the mob cap. Now, shulkers have very interesting personalities. Let's just say you can get shulkers essentially by you know, they don't despawn. That's their kind of specialty. And they also can get into minecart easily. And we have a bunch of shulker spawn eggs, which I got from the 1.8.9 Crossworld commands. And if you guys want to see how that works, there's an episode all about it. And yeah, anyways, we can make a really cool mob cap. And I was thinking, well, that mob cap would then in turn allow us to mine that temple down in peace. So I think it would be really beneficial to actually set up a some sort of shulker thing. So yeah, now the other thing I want to do is I also wanted to find out where our items come through in the end. And I know this is a weird question to segue into, but this is for a future possible duplication mechanism. So if we throw a bunch of torches through and we go through ourselves, oh shoot, we come through here. Let's break this. Oh, I didn't sleep. Oh man, okay. And do we not have rockets? Do we have any in here? Oh goodness. Alright guys, be right back. Okay, back at base here, and we can see that we have some, our torches came through right around here. So this little area here is our, this is our spawn kind of beacon thing. So if we ever build a concrete duplicator or anything like that, they're going to come through here, which is really convenient because our storage system is kind of right below that. Anyways, today guys, we can actually go ahead and get some unobtainables based on 0 durability items. So 112 is one of the last versions that you can do this. Essentially, you have to use an item down to 0 durability. And I thought it'd be pretty cool to do this, except the problem is I don't want to do it with a mending one here. So we're going to have to find a tool. And I think I'm just going to do it with an iron pickaxe because, well, they have less durability. Actually, really, we should just do it with a wooden pickaxe. If I'm being honest here, that's probably the easiest way to go about it. So let's go ahead and craft one of these guys up. So there we go. And this should have not that much durability. So if we go down below, I'm just going to go ahead and mine up a bunch of the blocks. One, 2, 3, and there we go. 0 out of 59 on that wooden pickaxe. So that's going to be discontinued soon. And if you really wanted to do a lot, you could do it with more than one tool. But I think really it's not so interesting that we need to get a ton of them. I'm going to go put this in our ender chest though to save it. Take this stuff out. Anyways, I thought, you know, it would be interesting if we go ahead and do something not really related to unobtainables, but it's still quite a cool project, and that is that mob switch. So in order to figure out where the spawn chunks are, we actually need to understand a few things about this world, and I figured the best way to do this without using mods is to do it with mods on a copy of the world. So we really just get to look around in creative in this world and see and mark coordinates of where the edges of the spawn chunks are. That way we are 100% guaranteed that we get the spawn chunks correct, because our world is so old I don't want to mess it up. And things can be a little bit strange, even though we will pretty much know that our spawn chunks center around this guy right here, like these 4 chunks here. It's still something we should do. So I'm going to be right back. Okay guys, so this is a visual representation of the chunks and bounding boxes in our world. I figured it'd be a lot nicer to show it in-game versus, you know, and so yeah, we were right here in this middle 4 chunks is where our items come through, right here, we know that. And this is the center of our spawn chunks. That's what this square here is representing. So if we toggle these a little bit lower so we can have a look better. As you can see, we come out all the way over here, F3G, and we have this chunk here, which if we look at our coordinates here, when we look at our chunk, we are in 5, -6. So I'll try to circle it if I remember in editing. That's what I'm looking at. But you know, this line right here, so 95, 95, right? And that's really good, because if we go over here, the actual complete center of our thing is 0, 0. Look at that. So that means everything should be 95, 95, right? So over here, we go to the edge, 95, 95. Look at that. So I believe that this, on the outside of this, is the lazy chunks. So those are the chunks we want to use, and I believe that's what we want to do with these things here. But I'm going to check with the technical community, and or just look up some basics about it, but it should be 1, 2, 12. So it's a 12 by 12, and I'm wondering if we want the 12 by 12 or we want a 14 by 14. I just want to clarify. But another cool thing that I found is the slime chunks around here. We have one right here. Unfortunately, I don't want to mine out a giant chunk there, but over here, this one right outside of the spawn chunks, right here would be a perfect spot. So I'm actually going to take a screenshot of that one right there. And just for those of you thinking I'm cheating, this is a creative copy of my world that I just made. And we're in, as you can see, 112.2 with Forge loaded on and this mod to show all these chunks and stuff. So that's pretty cool. We have, you know, everything should be 95. I'm going to check everything. But I think that means it's time for us to mark it out. And that is a tough task to do because, well, it just is with the terrain around here. But yeah, 95. So it doesn't matter, it's just as long as it's at exactly 95, we should be good to go. So right on this line, we should be at 95. Yep, 95. And yeah, so there we go. And we have a village over here, which is pretty funny. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and meet you guys back at the survival world. Hopefully with those lines fully made. Although I had good intentions, guys, I did some research just to, you know, I didn't want to do a bunch of work before I started marking stuff out. And it turns out that the spawn chunks mechanics change basically in 1.14. And if at all I'm going to do this world for longer than it already is, which I hopefully will be, there's really no point in me doing that, right? So, we're going to postpone the mob switch project, and instead we're going to focus on probably just clearing out that monuments for the time being, and we're just going to do it the old-fashioned way, I guess. And the thing is with these projects is I know the future in a way. It's like, do I do something or do I want to wait for these big projects? So I actually have a bit of thinking to do if I even want to do the Guardian farm, because there's so many cool designs you can do in 1.17 even. So it's kind of sucks having a world like this where you know all the current stuff too, but it's like you can't. So I'm going to think about what to do next, because I don't want to do something that's going to need changing. So give me a quick cut here. Alright guys, so I've come up with an idea for what to do, and it is an ice farm. So a while ago I wanted to try and build an ice farm up here, and you know, I was just like, I didn't want to do it. But finally I figured, you know, in 1.12 building in the game is a lot easier. And as you can see up here, we have ice forming, and over here you have snow forming, which means ice will form. So I got a shulker box here and a shulker box right over here that I'm going to use, and we're going to fill the 6 chunk by 6 chunk area. So if I show you real quick here, starting in this chunk here, going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, all the way over to here and around back to here. So it's a big giant square. It's going to come over to here too, and this whole area here I think we could do something interesting with underneath it. There's a lot of cool terrain underneath too that we could probably make some like kind of underground stuff. Anyways, it is going to be a task to get done, and since we don't have much time left in the episode, I figured I'd like to end the episode off here and just let you guys watch a cool time lapse of me filling in this area, then building the ice farm and all that stuff. So hopefully that's entertaining enough for you guys. I was just looking at the comments of the video as it just went live today, and you guys said you wanted a couple people wanted a world download, or have been wanting a world download for a while. So I figured I would include one. Basically, from this point here, not with the ice farm, but this exact point here, you guys can check out my world. And another person had some suggestions for the whip building, which if we look over here, they said to use use the spruce here. They like the spruce. They think the spruce is the best. So we're probably going to use the spruce. And a few people said to use unobtainables as part of the floor too. And I thought that was a great idea. And someone also suggested leaves. So we might try leaves too. So as far as unobtainables to use, I've been thinking of blocks that we have. We have these guys here, the end portal frames, which could be cool. They're a little bit lower, so they could be nice like borders. We have Shulker's boxes, I guess. We have some heads, not really a whole lot there, but we also have bedrock, so if we really want to, we could have bedrock in the floor, but that is really risky because once you place it, it's placed. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the this portion of the episode, and I hope you guys do enjoy the time lapse. And if you don't watch the time lapse, that's cool, but you should, because yeah. Also, I'm gonna be streaming probably some of this too. And because of this farm, this episode's probably not going to come out for a while. So, bye-bye.